everyone, thank you so much for coming to Introduction to Yoga. Welcome back. I'm here with my trusty dog, Jango. He's here to demonstrate some of the resting poses and to remind you to drink water, apparently. Always a good reminder during our practice. If you're new, joining for the first time, welcome. The main thing to remember about yoga is to focus on your breathing and make sure that you're mindful of anything that might not feel good in your body. If I'm doing something that you don't like, if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. I took a bit of a tumble in the parking lot, so I'm going to be mindful about how I move today, and it's good because it reminds me to show you lots of modifications. So let's get started. So making yourself nice and comfortable, seated, perhaps lying down, and perhaps closing the eyes. We're going to start with 3 breaths just to help let our day go. So inhaling the arms up, taking a big inhale, reaching towards the sky, and exhale, sigh it all out, exhale. And inhale, the arms up. And exhale, sigh it all out. Letting everything go, letting your day go, letting your to-do list go. You've landed on your mat. Inhaling the arms up. And exhale. And I invite you to just find a moment of stillness and peace. I like to set an intention for the practice. And today I suggest setting the intention of gratitude. It's that gloomy time of year where sometimes we wake up and we have that little storm cloud over our head that follows us around all day and everything seems to go wrong. I was never much of a morning person before, and I heard about gratitude and starting your day with just a moment of gratitude and how that can really change your life. And I thought it's kind of nonsense, but I had nothing to lose, so I gave it a shot. And I was not one of those people to write it down. I'm a little bit lazy, so when I would wake up, I would just think about the things that I was grateful for. So family, friends, health, my warm blanket. And I really found that that made a big difference in setting the tone for my day. So I invite you to start the day with a bit of gratitude. So rather than thinking about your to-do list or the things that you lack, focus on the things that you're grateful for, just for a moment, and see what changes transpire in your life. Following your natural breath. And when you're ready, just slowly opening the eyes. I'm going to start with a few little shoulder rolls to just warm up the shoulders here. Coming back to center, and a few little neck stretches. Just if we've been sitting at computers all morning, we might want to give those neck muscles a bit of a stretch. Very light stretch, very gentle. So on the next exhale, turning the head very gently to the right. And coming back to center, and very gently turning the head to the left. And don't worry about looking like me as you do this. Go to where it feels comfortable for you. And you might notice I don't have a lot of range of motion in my neck either, so coming back to center and then gently looking down towards the ground. Coming back to center and very gently looking up towards the sky. back to center. We're going to do a few sun breaths. So inhaling the arms up, taking a big inhale, and exhale, sighing it all out. And inhaling the arms up. And this time bringing the hands through heart center as you exhale, letting the hands come down, and then inhaling up, following your own natural breath, and exhale, bringing the hands through heart center. And one more time, inhaling the arms up, and exhale, coming back through heart center. And we're going to go the other way. So inhaling the arms up, and exhale, letting the arms fall out wide, feeling a nice stretch here, and then coming back through center, inhaling the arms up, reaching and stretching as you exhale, starting to feel everything activate, and once again, coming up through center, and exhale, and one more time, inhaling, and exhale, coming back through, extending the hands out. And we're just going to do very gentle twists, so inhaling the arms up once again, and very gently taking a gentle twist to the right, making sure we're sitting up nice and tall, both sits bones are connected to the ground. Taking full deep breaths. And inhaling the arms up, and exhale to the left. Inhaling the arms up, and exhale, coming back down. We're going to do a few seated circles to just warm up the spine. So just very gently starting to make circles with the upper part of the body, trying to keep the sit bones connected to the floor. So you can make your circles as big or as small as you want to. Next one, let's go the other way. And again, trying to make sure that we're connected to the yoga mat as we do this. When you're ready, coming back to center, we're going to work on our cat-cow from the seated position today. So making sure that we're sitting up nice and tall. Crown of the head is reaching towards the sky, shoulders are down and away from the ears. On the next exhale, we're going to round the shoulders, arching the spine. And on the next inhale, coming back, shining the heart forward. Shoulders are down and away from the ears. And just flow back and forth through this movement, following your breath. Always making sure that you're taking full, deep breaths throughout the practice. the next inhale, coming back to center. From here, we're going to transition into child's pose. So however you need to make your way there. So we're going to spread the fingers nice and wide, and then extending the knees out to the width of the yoga mat, and then sitting back on our heels. Reaching forward, bringing the head down to the yoga mat, still taking full deep breaths. If you're up further like this, that is okay. You're still getting a lot of benefit from the pose. And you can always come into this pose or any resting pose at any point during the practice. I'm just making suggestions about postures that you can follow along with, but you're in control, so you do what you need to do. So from here, we're going to transition to our downward facing dog. So I'm going to bring the knees in, still seated back towards the heels, making sure that our fingers are spread nice and wide. This helps protect the wrists. And then we're going to very gently tuck the toes and slowly make our way. I see the dog coming. Make sure he's not going to knock me over. We're going to lift the hips up towards the sky, coming into our downward facing dog. Try to press evenly through the hands and the feet, but if this is hard on the wrists, you can put more weight in the legs. And if your hamstrings are tight, you can certainly have a bit of a bend in the knees as much as you need to. And it doesn't matter in this position if your heels are touching the ground. Mine certainly do not, but I do like to pedal out my feet to just help give a bit of a stretch to the legs here. And remember, if this isn't comfortable, you can stay down in child's pose, or you can do this from the forearms as well. So we're going to slowly walk the feet up towards the front of the mat, coming into a nice forward fold. So I have a nice generous bend in my knees here. The crown of my head is towards the ground. And from here, we're going to just bring the hands to the shins, flattening out the back. Shoulders are down and away from the ears, looking down at the ground. And on the next exhale, folding back towards the ground. And then inhale very gently, coming back up into our mountain pose. So I'm going to turn and face you as we just revisit mountain pose quickly here. So making sure the four corners of the feet feel grounded into your yoga mat, keeping the knees soft, navel into the spine. We're going to try and keep the shoulders down and away from the ears. They have a tendency to creep up, especially if we're at our computers like this. We want to have everything nice and open. Arms at our sides, palms are facing forward, crown is shining towards the sky. Very active in this pose. And this pose sets the foundation for other postures that we do in yoga. So try to remember all these things. I know it's a lot to remember, but we do want to make sure that our alignment is nice and aligned as we go through our practice. So I'm going to just turn back here. Jango's demonstrating our resting pose, which is also a good pose to do anytime you feel like it. So from here, we're going to inhale the arms up and exhale, swan diving down, coming into that forward fold, bending the knees if you'd like. And from here, we're going to step back with the right leg, coming into a lunge, framing that front foot, and your feet should be on two different tracks to just help give you some balance and stability here. So we're going to come in and do a modified Sun Salutation. So we're going to bring that knee down to the ground just to make things a little bit easier on ourselves. And from here, we're going to step that left foot back to meet rather than being up, we are going to make sure that we're taking it a little bit easier on ourselves. So spreading the fingers nice and wide to help protect the wrists, and just making sure that we're leaning a little bit forward so that the wrists are underneath the shoulders. We're going to slowly start to lower the chest towards the ground. And we're going to be making sure our neck is nice and neutral here. So gently coming all the way down to the yoga mat. I need to just put myself up just a little bit. My feet are hanging off the edge of the mat. So our hands are underneath our shoulders here, and our neck is nice and neutral. And from here, we're going to come into a baby cobra pose. So keeping the elbows tucked in towards the sides, we're going to slowly start to come into a bit of a back bend, just lifting the chest off of the ground, gazing out in front of you. So don't come up too high if it's not comfortable. You should feel a nice stretch along the front of the chest. I feel my elbows splaying out, so just try and tuck them in. Shoulders are down and away from the ears. And very gently lowering back down. So from here, we're not going to press up into downward facing dog. We're going to press right back into child's pose, just moving at your own pace. Extending the arms out in front of us long, sitting back down towards the heels. And then from here, we're going to press up into our downward facing dog if you want to join me for that. So tucking the toes under, fingers are spread nice and wide, slowly pressing up into downward facing dog. This should be a nice resting pose for you someday. And when you're ready, looking towards the hands and slowly walking the feet up towards the top of the mat, coming into our forward fold once again. Crown of the head is pointed down towards the mat. Generously bending the knees. On the next inhale, bringing the hands to the shins or the thighs, keeping the shoulders down and away from the ears. Neck is nice and neutral. And exhale, fold, coming back down. And inhale, come all the way back up. Back into that mountain pose. So there, we've done a full sun salutation, modified sun salutation. Pat yourself on the back. So just taking a moment to reconnect with our mountain pose here. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side, stepping back with the left leg this time. So inhaling the arms up. And exhale, swan dive. This should feel really good. Exhale, coming into our forward fold. Inhale, coming halfway up, back is flat, shoulders down and away from the ears. And exhale, fold. And we're going to step back with the left leg this time. And once again, just making sure our feet are on two different tracks. So do some adjustments if you need to. And letting that left knee come down to the mat. We're going to frame that right foot with our hands, and we're going to step that right leg back to meet the left. So now we're setting ourselves up for our plank here. You can be up on your toes if you would really like to. It puts more stress on the body if you're not ready for that. Don't do that just yet. We'll work on our core strength so that we can get there. So from here, just making the toes, sure the toes are touching, and then slowly lowering our chest down to the mat. Elbows into the sides, hands underneath the shoulders. And with the elbows tucked into the sides, very gently lifting the chest off of the ground, bringing the gaze forward, shoulders down and away from the ears, pressing into the tops of the feet. And gently lowering. So from here, we're going to sit back into our child's pose. So pressing yourself up, sitting back on the heels, extending the hands out in front of us. And then making sure our fingers again are spread nice and wide. Pressing the hips up towards the sky. Pedaling out the feet again if you need to, if you want to. Bending the knees if you would like to, or you can be right down on your elbows or in child's pose. You should still be breathing. When you're ready, slowly starting to walk the feet up towards the hands, coming into our forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, back is flat. And exhale, fold. And inhale, coming back up into our mountain pose. Bring the hands through heart center. Just taking a second once again to reconnect with mountain pose. And then inhaling the arms up. And exhale, swan dive over and fold. And then from here, we're going to step back with the right leg, followed by the left, and we're going to make our way down to a seated position, just in our own time. So however you need to get there. I'm going to turn and face you. So just taking a nice seated pose. Shoulders are down and away from the ears. Heart is shining towards the sky. So from here, we are going to, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together for our butterfly pose. So you can take a hold of the ankles or the feet. This is a nice time to give yourself that foot massage that you might need. And don't worry if your knees are more up towards the sky, that's okay. Just go to where you feel a nice stretch, where you can still breathe. I don't know where Jango's run off to. And when you're ready, making your way back up to a seated pose. So from here, we're going to extend the feet out in front of us so that the feet are on the mat. And the knees are bent. So we're sitting up nice and tall. And we're going to cross the right leg over the left. So just readjust yourself so that you're still sitting up nice and tall. Sometimes we have a tendency to collapse here. And then we're going to cross the right arm over the left and clasp the hands so that the palms are touching. So this may seem like a bit of an easy pose. And maybe it is for a lot of you, but It is very calming and relaxing to have the hands, the palms touching like this. So it's a good time to check in with your intention, gratitude. It's okay to find stillness and peace in your practice. It doesn't have to be active all of the time. It's okay for us to slow down. It's okay for us to rest our busy minds once in a while. And when you're ready, unclasping the hands, we're going to change the feet so that the opposite leg is crossed over top. Once again, just making sure that you're sitting up nice and tall, not collapsing here. And this time we're going to cross the left arm under, or the right arm underneath the left. And then once again, clasping the hands, palms are touching. Jango's coming to investigate. And perhaps closing the eyes. Taking a drink of water if you need to. Welcome to your pets if they have joined us for the class today. While we can't be together, maybe you can throw a comment down and let us know if your pets are joining, or if you want to say hi to Jango. We can still make this interactive. We are all still connected. And when you're ready, unclasping the hands and uncrossing the legs once again. We're going to make our way down to our backs. Not quite time for Shavasana yet. I encourage you to make sure you stick around for Shavasana. So just slowly making your way onto your back, just in your own time. Making yourself nice and comfortable. We're going to bring the legs in towards each other so that the feet are flexed. And then bringing it the right leg, knee in towards the chest. Still making sure both feet are flexed here. Feeling a nice stretch. Still maintaining full deep breaths. And that noise is just Jango walking around in the kitchen. Probably looking for a few crumbs. Very gently again, releasing that leg back down to the ground. Making sure both feet are flexed, and then bringing that left knee in towards the chest. Check out my alignment. Don't step on me. And when you're ready, letting that leg go. Jango's lying on the couch now. He's going to show us resting pose, but I don't think you can see him. So from here, we're going to bend both knees so that the feet are flat on the mat. And we're going to come into our reclined pigeon pose. So we're going to bring the right ankle across the left knee, And then we're going to start to bring that leg in towards the chest, taking a hold of the back of the thigh or the shin, wherever it feels comfortable for you. Keeping both feet flexed, feeling a nice stretch in the hip. This is where I start to feel my jaw release, which is really nice because, like I said, I have a tendency to clench my jaw. It's okay to rest our minds. It's okay to rest our body. Our practice of yoga helps us to bring the mind, body, and spirit back into alignment. And when you're ready, just very gently releasing the feet back towards the ground. Both feet are on the ground, knees are bent. This time we're going to cross the left ankle across the right knee. Both feet are flexed. And once again, taking a hold of the back of the thigh or the shin. Coming into that reclined pigeon pose. And if this side feels different, that's okay. I have one side that's tighter than the other. We're bringing balance back to the mind, body, and spirit through our practice. Accepting where we are on any given day. I'm feeling grateful that you made it to your yoga mat today. Feeling grateful to yourself and for all the things that you do. Sometimes we don't take the time to remember to thank ourselves for all the things that we do for everyone. It's okay to be grateful for yourself as well. And then when you're ready, letting both feet come back down to the ground. Knees are bent. We're going to let the knees fall open to either side, coming into that recline butterfly. Your hands can just be at your sides. I like to have my palms facing up towards the sky here. You can also bring some awareness to the breath by placing the hands over the stomach or the chest, wherever it feels comfortable. It can just help us become a little bit mindful about our breathing as we go through the practice. Oftentimes as we go throughout our day, we're taking these short, shallow breaths because we're stressed, and those short, shallow breaths just make us more stressed, and we don't always even realize that we're not taking those full, deep breaths that are so good for us. So sometimes just stopping throughout your day to take a few deep breaths can help you feel a little more balanced and relaxed. We don't need to be stressed through our whole day. And then slowly bringing the feet back towards the mat so that our knees are bent once again. We're going to extend the arms out to the sides into a T or a V. I like to do a V. And we're going to shift the hips over to the left side of the mat. So there's a bit of a curve to the spine now. And we're going to come into a recline twist, so letting the knees fall to the right side of the
mat, just to wherever they fall. Feeling a nice stretch along the side of the body. And you should still be able to take full deep breaths here. And that might mean bringing the hands in more towards the side of the body, or maybe not going so far into the twist, and that's okay. And if you feel nothing, you can always cross one leg over the other and guide the hand down towards the ground. Just go wherever it feels good in your body. Honoring where you are in your practice today. Inhale, bringing the knees back up towards the sky. Realigning the spine so that we are nice and straight once again. And then this time we're going to shift the hips over towards the right side of the mat, bringing that curve into the spine. Letting the knees fall to the left side of the mat this time. And perhaps guiding the knees down with your opposite hand, if you want to intensify it. And you can always turn your head to look towards the right side of the mat, or your hand, if that feels accessible for you. And then very gently coming back to center, straightening out the spine. And now we're going to come into our final resting pose, just like Jango, who is somewhere. So extending the legs out long, just to the width of the yoga mat, making sure we're nice and comfortable. Shoulders down and away from the ears. Palms are facing up towards the sky. Coming back to your natural breath. If you have a little towel to place over the eyes just to help filter out any light, and you would like to do that, make sure you grab that now. Sometimes it just helps to have a bit of darkness to help relax the mind. We're so busy all day long. It's time to finally give the mind a bit of a break. And while there are thoughts that come and go, that's okay. Rather than focusing on all of the things that we need to get done, let's focus on the things that we're grateful for. Grateful for family and friends, grateful for health, grateful for dogs that are quiet during yoga, grateful for our pets. And with each breath, starting to feel more and more relaxed. Relaxing the toes, relaxing the feet, relaxing the ankles, relaxing the calves, relaxing the knees, relaxing the thighs, relaxing the hips, relaxing the lower back, Relaxing the mid-back. Relaxing the upper back. Relaxing the fingers. Relaxing the forearms and the elbows. Relaxing the shoulders. Relaxing the neck. Relaxing the jaw. Trying to relax the muscles of the face. Relaxing the forehead. Relaxing the eyes. Relaxing your head. Feeling yourself melt into the yoga mat. You're feeling peaceful and relaxed and ready to carry on with the rest of your day. Slowly starting to bring yourself back to the space that you're in, bringing your awareness back. Maybe starting to wiggle some fingers and toes. Perhaps wrists and ankles. And when you feel ready, rolling over to your right side. When we roll to our right side, it keeps the heart elevated, which is supposed to help maintain our state of relaxation. And when you're ready, very gently making your way back up to a seated position. Taking your time. Taking as much time as you need to, there's no rush. And when you're ready, taking a nice inhale in. Extending the hands up towards the sky. And exhaling, bringing hands through heart center. The light in me honors the light in all of you and every soul. Namaste. I hope the attitude of gratitude that you've cultivated today helps bring you a nice peaceful day and peaceful way of life. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you again next week. Bye.